Hey, welcome back to the channel. We are back with another weekly wears video where I go over every single fragrance that I wore all 7 days last week. So if that's content you want to see more of, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on bell notifications so you are updated whenever I upload something new. This week's theme was something that I had been wanting to do for a while, and I thought, you know what, let me pick fragrances that I find to be really masculine, manly scents. So I have 7 of them here that I think fit that criteria, and yeah, so let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it, starting with Sunday. This first one needs no introduction. Scent we are talking about is Chanel's Platinum Egoist. This has that classic shave foam vibe to it, that creamy, metallic, lavender, clean, barbershop type of scent. Even the guy who doesn't necessarily appreciate cologne will appreciate this. It's almost impossible not to like. It's very nostalgic. I talk about this all the time. My grandfather, I remember him shaving as a kid, and he, I'd have my little fake razor and put my shave foam on and shave, and just a really incredible sort of memory I have that I'm reminded of when I get my nose on this. It's versatile, it's fresh, and although it was released in '93, this one is a timeless classic. Chanel's Platinum Egoist. This next one I didn't like at first, but oh man, has that changed. Scent we are talking about is Terre d'Hermès Eau Intense Vetiver. And this is a classic woody, elevated men's scent that is just, it really checks every single box for me personally. Citrus, pepper, super authentic vetiver. I feel like I can wear this, oh man, in the air, just absolutely beautiful. I feel like I can wear this in any situation, dressed up, casual, office, out at night. This is kind of a one that does it all for me. It's also my barber, it's her favorite fragrance on me. She's complimented me on this one a few times. It's just absolutely amazing. And like I said, when I first smelled this one, I wasn't crazy about it. It was super earthy up top, and maybe my nose just wasn't used to things that authentic smelling, that earthy. It literally smells like you pulled a root out of the dirt and shoved it into your nose and took a sniff. But it grows on you, and the citrus really comes out, and all the other elements here, as it dries down, it gets closer to the original Terre d'Hermès. But yeah, just there's something about this one that adds a little bit of a smoky darkness to it that I can't get enough of. Terre d'Hermès Eau Intense Vetiver. This next one is a 70s classic masculine that does it right. Scent we're talking about is Loewe Pour Homme. And this one I imagine maybe like an athlete in the 70s wearing. And although this is a 70s fragrance, I want to say this came out in '73 or something, well before my time. Well, I guess not that far before my time, but yeah, it was, this for me is just kind of what I associate with that time period. Citrus, aromatic, fresh, not sweet, kind of a dry fragrance, but the oak moss here, it's a standout note, but it's not too heavy. It's not distracting like it is in some of other fragrances from the 70s, some of the counterparts to the scent. I think, again, even the most fragrance opposed people, men specifically, might be able to appreciate this one. Maybe they have a familiarity with it, like maybe it reminds them of like their dad or their uncle or something like that. Now, with that being said, I think that this stood the test of time. I don't think it smells dated. It's just a really classy, put together, kind of Italian style aromatic fougere that, you need at least one in your collection. Loewe Pour Homme. All I have to say about this next one is rum, incense, and leather. Scent we are talking about is Bentley for Men Intense. And this is another one that initially, my first wearing of it, I did not like it. It was a scrubber. I had a sample of it and was not, oh man, see, in the air right now, just smells amazing, very strong, very powerful, very present, masculine, unapologetic. So there's really little to no sweetness here. You do pick up some slight sweetness, but for the most part, this is going to be one of those fragrances that is going to grab attention, mostly yours, because you're going to be wearing it and you don't want to overspray this one. Deep, resinous, long-lasting performance, Again, one that you're not necessarily going to want to overspray, but it also has this kind of refined classiness to it in a way. So yeah, I just picture a really confident guy wearing this one. Cold weather. It's going to cut through the cold beautifully. Really cold night. Yeah, this stuff, spicy. A lot of people like the original, which is a really good scent on its own. So, you know, if the intense doesn't work for you, the original might. This stuff, though, for the price, very hard to beat. Bentley for Men, intense. This next one, if you ask me today, is probably in my top 10 fragrances of all time. So we're talking about is Creed Himalaya. And this one has this really nice cooling effect to it. The bottle, I always talk about the presentation kind of being really spot on here because it gives off this cooling effect. The name Himalaya has an iciness to it, a little bit powdery, metallic green. This one is incredible. Very clean and uplifting fragrance. One of Creed's most underrated in my opinion, and one that kind of builds confidence. You put this on, you feel more confident. And that's partly due to the fact that the quality here is exceptional. I have smelled a lot of fragrances, and as much crap as Creed gets sometimes is in terms of like how they're priced, and yes, they are super expensive. I actually got this one for a pretty reasonable price. You can find this for on discounters. Again, it's kind of underrated and not as hyped maybe as some of their others. There's something about the quality here that is just second to none. Performance is maybe just below average, but this is one of those scents that smells so damn good to me, I could give a crap less about the performance. This smells incredible. Creed Himalaya. This next fragrance was my last rack store pickup, so if you guys have not watched that video yet, I will be sure to link it down below. Scent we are talking about is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Summer Vibes. And, you know, obviously with this list being, you know, masculine fragrances, I wasn't really planning on this being a masculine fragrance when I grabbed it at the store, but it is, and it's a masculine summer scent. It actually reminds me more of the original than it had on my initial impressions, more so in the mid and dry down of this scent. The original, full disclosure, I mentioned in that video, doesn't work on me, but this reminds me slightly of the original, actually more than slightly. Amped up cypress, which is a bonus, green, aromatic, and doesn't have that egg smell on me, because that egg smell, that low tide sort of vibe that I get from the original, I just don't get here. My wife really liked this one on me. I would say in terms of performance, it is comparable to other fresh aquatic fragrances like the OG. So you're getting maybe average to just slightly above average, particularly for a fresh fragrance, which is a really good thing. And my opinion, this one, you know, I paid around $60 for the 125 ml. You can find it slightly cheaper on online discounters, so I'm going to link all these fragrances down below so you guys can check them out. But yeah, I think that's a fantastic deal for this scent. This one's really nice, classy, put together. Feels like, you know, you're this like touring Italy or something in the summer. Coastline, open white shirt. You know, you definitely feel the vibe here. Dolce & Gabbana, summer vibes. So finally on Saturday, I think with all the ones that I've talked about already, we're kind of covering it all. We got the freshies, we got the aquatics, we have the colder weather scents, the barbershops. This one is a fantastic kind of all-arounder, and I would wear in every season. And I just love it. The scent we're talking about is Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum. And this stuff, guys, I mean, it's talked about a lot for good reason. Maybe less so now these days since Reserve Privé came out, which is a shame because this one is my favorite in the line. Well, actually, it's top two along with the EDT. But there's a reason why I tend to lean more towards this than the Reserve Privé. And that's the masculine sort of vibe this gives off. You know, the Reserve Privé is, yes, it has kind of that boozy note, but with that comes a little more sweetness. I love the powdery iris here. This just kind of checks all the boxes for me. I know leather's not a note or an official note in here, but I do get a leather vibe as well. It's a little bit floral. This kind of covers all my bases. Like I said, I would wear this in every season, mainly nights out. So you know, I might taper back the sprays a couple if it's, you know, warmer out that night. But for the most part, this does lean more towards the cooler weather. For me, though, it's such an addictive scent that I find myself wanting to wear this more often than not. Clean lavender, iris, vanilla adding this kind of slight sexy edge to it. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about this one. Really good performance. The day that I wore it, this was kind of just beaming off of me. So I was getting whiffs of this all day long. Absolutely love it. Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum. That's it, guys. All 7 fragrances that I wore every single day last week. As always, would love to know what your weekly rotation was. I always love hearing what you guys are wearing. Gives me ideas as to what I might reach for next, might pick up next. Always look forward to it. Drop it in the comment section down below. But if you like content like this, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you're updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.